What is up, Team Happy and Fit? If we have not met, my name is Julianne. This is Eric. This is my husband. And then this is Wyatt. This is our dog boy. We love him and we're obsessed with him. I'm so grateful that you're hopping on. I'm going to share more about why this is important to plug into a team call and to a team and what they'll do for us later and set some goals around that. But today is all about reflection. I'm so excited to get this started. Before we do that, I think I messed up our Secret Santa because there's a generator that I used from last year. So someone might be getting double the gifts. I don't know. My only fear is that someone doesn't get a gift. I think if someone gets 2 gifts, like it is the season. So we're just going to play this out and see how this goes. Beth and Caitlin, I don't know what's going to happen. And so we're going to figure this out and we're going to get to the bottom of it. 1, 2, bars launched today, the vegan beach bars and the bar blend. I know that Kim is so excited about it. I don't know how I feel about the rotation of the hips with the legs up and over. We're going to get there. My dog is also choking right now. It's fine. Hey, Mom, you are so beautifully loud. It's okay. Anyway, next thing. I came up with an idea for 2020 on launching into the new year, the new decade, and I'm going to launch this in a couple weeks, but I'm really excited about it. I hope that you get behind and on board. It's going to be a team challenge and 5 people per team, and it's basically consistency is what it's going to be. So you checking in with your 5 people on working out 5 times a week, drinking a shake at least 5 times a week, plugging into at least 1 team call a week. Every time someone from your team does one of those things, you get points. Help someone with something, and Success Club is going to be on the same tier. It's not going to be Hit Success Club, whatever. If you help, dude, Teresa helped 9 people with BOD since Friday. 9. Like, that is incredible. So that would be like whatever point system that would be, like, set your metric. Like, that's amazing, right? Everything has volume tied to it. Personal development, we're going to do another book club in January, and for every check-in you do and people from your team do, you get points. And I'm going to make the teams once you comment below on there, but I just thought it was going to be a great way to build consistency. Posting on social media would be on there. Jamie, I see you. This is something we've been talking about with morning our Monday Q&A, right, of building this consistency. That's what you wrote in our book club too, of building consistency and taking that action. And I just feel like if we're accountable for each other and with each other, it's gonna like freaking blast off 2020. I just feel like this business is built with consistency, and that's what creates momentum. And so I'm really excited about that. I thought about that the other day and I was like, Julianne, just implement it. Okay, we're just going to get into it. I am so excited to reflect with you tonight. Reflection, I feel like, is going to propel us for the future. A lot of people do boardwalks, vision boards, things like that, think into the future. What do you want to crush? What do you want to do? But I really do think it's important to look back on what you've done, what you've experienced, what you survived, the decisions that you've made, right? Tough moments you got through, relationships that were restored and healed and forgiven, relationships that you blessed and released, programs that you finished, mile markers that you hit, goals that made you excited, things that made you felt defeated, hardships, things like that. When you can look back at that and just be like, dang, I built so much grit. That is what I want to reflect on tonight. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. And what I want you to do is I want you to just to write the answer down. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be so profound. They can be simple. They can be whatever you want it to be. But this is the power in vision setting, reflection, and journaling. I need to read something to you that I wrote more than 3 years ago. And this is before we took off. Like, Happy and Fit is not that old, but I want you to see what I wrote down after doing a reflection walk myself. Are you ready for this? I teared up reading this. Oh, okay. Every journey begins with a single step. I'm different because I speak with conviction, power, and dreams. I know that my ideas, strengths, and talents can lead a team. I know I am worthy of success. I know that I get to rewrite my story. You guys, this was before rewritten. My podcast was even like in the making. Like that was like how powerful that I wrote that before that was even a thought that I wanted to do. I read that today and I was just like, whoa. I know that my words and actions make an impact. I know that I am meant to lead. I know that my consistency and faith will lead the way. I know that my consistency and faith will lead the way. Do not forget where you came from. Never be robbed by your mind. I wonder why I wrote that. Because I had this whole vision. I think I was still teaching when I wrote this. Like, don't be robbed from your mind. Always remember that your story matters and changes lives. Do not give in to fear. Keep visualizing success. Dream in detail. Never stop growing. Julianne, continue to be relentless about sharing the coaching opportunity. What if I wouldn't have done that? Isn't that so powerful? Continue to be relentless about sharing the coaching opportunity. You matter. You are smart. You have limitless potential. You are the girl on fire. Keep burning and be the light for others. I am enough, or you are enough. Whatever you want, freaking fight for it. Success is not above you. And voila, Happy and Fit was my dream. I just like look at that and I'm like, dang, that was from reflection, growth, and figuring out what I wanted. So this is where we're going to start before we launch with these questions. And I'm really, really pumped for this, is I want to do a success snapshot. So let's start and lead with reflection of success. And then we're going to do some reflecting on some hard things. I just feel like every decision has led you to here. So you've survived tough decisions. You've survived those, like, you know, where you're just so stressed about something and it's in your stomach and then you have a knot. You survived it. You are here. That elephant that's been on your chest, still here. You're still able to get through it. So let's do a success snapshot. I want you to write down, what is your success with fitness and health right now? Over the journey since you started, if you are on day 5 of being a coach, welcome. You've had some success because you said yes to your health. A coach I helped get started this last week, she said, I want to take back my health. That's success to me. That's what I would write down if I were her. Taking back my health. Amara, I freaking saw your results, girl, like your before and after. And I was like, what if you wouldn't have said yes? What if you wouldn't have bet on you? What if you wouldn't have bet on you? It had nothing to do with like the physical like weight loss that you had. It was the energy behind your eyes that I saw. Like in the picture, like the brightness, the shining, like all of that kind of stuff, right? What if you would not have bet on yourself? Like, where would you be? Write down, success snapshot. Fitness and health. What is your success? Did you finish a program? 21 workouts? Success. I don't care if you have 50 pounds to lose right now. I don't care if you have 10 pounds to gain right now. That's not what this is about. This is about finding success with every inch of effort you put in. If you can find every bit of success on your journey, you will not quit. Finding the celebration in the small inches adds up over time. In the comments, can you go ahead and write down your success after you've written it down in your journal? Where have you found success in your fitness and in health? People don't talk about this. People don't celebrate this. People don't even think about this, but you are, because you're different. Consistently being active while being pregnant. Yes. Lauren, I saw 5 years. That made me tear up when I saw that. Taking the first step into a program. Hell yes. For me, it was eating breakfast again, having more energy, sleeping really well through the night, being more regular, losing 35 pounds, right? Those are some success stories that I have under my belt because every inch matters. Haven't had a Pepsi since starting Shakeology. Sarah, do you talk about this? That is amazing. My mom has given up soda for 1.5 years, And I have not drank soda since 2007. It was a bet my friends made. I'm the only one who stuck it out. Don't bet me on something. I'll win every time. Like that's the kind of person that I am, right? That's amazing. I've been consistent with my workouts for 4 years now. Think about that, Erica. That's so powerful, because a lot of people who are a mom of 3 and currently pregnant would be like, I can't. This is powerful. Are you reading these takeaways and success stories? Aren't we a part of something so incredible that it just isn't for the few to be successful, that it's to all of us? All of you can have success with fitness and health. Isn't that a powerful business to be a part of? That you can be successful and so can the person next to you. I love that about this. That is so powerful. What did you write? I know I can't see it.
I said at age 30 I can play basketball and do other physical activities at a high level, and have built habits that make it easy to come back from setbacks.
That's so powerful. And I feel like we're all getting better with age. A lot of people complain about age, and here we are celebrating it, age and success with health and fitness. We are a part of a movement. We are part of something really incredible, and I'm so incredibly excited about that. Success does not play favorites, that is for sure. Okay, tell me, what are some financial successes for you with either this business or this year? I get it. If you're in debt, that can be heavy, but you've got to find something. You've got to find something in this. Did you get your products covered? Did you help someone with something? Like, that's a financial win. I'm telling you what, I celebrated $4.99 coming into my business like I had just made $500, because it was my business and I helped someone, and that's powerful, and that's a cup of coffee, right? You've got to find ways to celebrate this. Every inch matters. If not, it will never be enough. I made $0 paychecks, $0 paychecks, $0 paychecks, negative paychecks. Then $50, and then $30, and then $250, back to $30. I celebrated every inch, because if I didn't, it would never be enough. I promise you, making $30 in this business to making $3,000 a week in this business, it will not ever be enough if you cannot find a way to celebrate that and understand the movement that you're on, because it's more than that. But I always got excited about the potential. I always got excited about the growth. And maybe if you don't have a success story yet, could you just trust that if there's enough success stories that you're reading, that you can have that too? My mother-in-law was telling me this morning, she said, your mornings are just so awesome. They're so relaxing. You guys don't have to be running out the door. Faye is so blessed. Yeah, we worked really hard for that. And I love our mornings. I love our choices. I love that we were able to spend time with the grandmas, even though they were not wanting to interrupt our night with this call. And I was like, this is how we have the choice. They're like, we know. It was really funny. Can you trust that this compensation plan isn't just for the few, but it's for all who taps into it? Can you trust that? How many success stories do you need to see in order for you to believe that you're enough for that? Huh? How many do you have to see? I guarantee if you were just to pay attention to it, I bet it's your mindset. I bet it is what you are thinking about what you're capable of that determines whether or not you're going to have success in the financial health of your business. I can guarantee that. Okay, my favorite one. What is your success snapshot with friendship on this team? Did you meet someone new this year? Do you get excited to see some people on Zooms? Have you gone to some live events? And if you haven't yet, maybe that's a goal you can set for 2020, because that makes all the difference. But I can promise where it started for me was making sure I jumped on a Zoom every week. And that is how I built my friendships. It started with me being super nervous, getting on a Zoom. I was so afraid I was going to have to talk. I didn't want to. And then it led into a lot of friendships. I feel like I created a sisterhood, a tribe, a community of people who just talk about bigger and better things. That we talk about how we want more choices in life, and we praise each other. We get excited for each other. We celebrate each other. We lift each other up. We go through life together. I love that we have access. It's hard to make friends when you're adults, but not with this. Not if you lean in. There's so much success with friendships. And lastly, success snapshot, freedom. What freedom has this journey given you? Freedom from body bashing? Freedom from being ripped apart in dressing rooms and on the scale? Has it given you time freedom? Has it given you freedom from toxic people? Has it given you freedom to share your story? How many people are so afraid to share their story? And I'm like, it's your story. Why are you afraid to share your story? They're afraid of judgmental people. If people can't be happy for your health and happiness, that's probably not the people you want to surround yourself by and listen to, right? It's just a reflection of how they feel about themselves. I feel like this has given me the freedom to be me, and that's freeing. Kate, that's so powerful. Yes, Nicole. Turner, think about that. There's a lot of people in life that can't be authentic because they're so worried about other people. What other freedoms? I feel like it's given me, it started off with freedom to be authentic, but I need to tell you, it's given me the freedom of location, time, and people. This is who I choose to work with. That's pretty powerful. But it started off with freedom to put my self-care first, right? I remember being bogged down as a teacher, and the last thing that would be on my list was self-care. It wouldn't even be on my list. And when I started coaching and started this, I felt freedom to be able to say no to teaching things, grading and all that stuff. Like, I'm gonna do my workout. I don't care if all my stuff isn't done. I need to take care of myself. I'm going to bed. I'm not gonna stay up late and worry about this issue, right? That really gave me freedom in the beginning. Yes, Lauren. Can you all trust that there's more freedom for you in this? Can you trust that if you see freedom for other people, that it's available for you too? That's the kind of stuff we talk about on these calls. How did you feel about that? Ooh, wasn't that so good? I feel really inspired and empowered by that. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started with our questions. There's kind of a lot, and it's gonna be amazing. And we're gonna go through this, and it's gonna be powerful reflection. I want you to use this in your own life. I want you to discuss it with the people that matter most to you and support you in life. I want you to share this on social media in different ways. I want you to share this with your team. I want you to share this with people that you're talking to about coaching and joining our team. I want you to share this with our team. I want you to be open about whatever reflections that you had, ahas that you had. Do whatever you wish with them. But more than anything, I hope you're proud of who you are today. I hope that you trust yourself more of how far you've come. And I hope that you believe that your future has so much potential. But I also just hope that you trust that every decision that you've made has led you to here, and that you can get through hard things. That anytime you have a setback, it's not there to burden you. It's there to grow you. That is my hope for you tonight. As we reflect, as you just see how amazing and incredible you are and how far you've come on this journey. And I think the power of reflection has just taught me that I can do anything. So that's what I hope for you tonight. Okay, number 1, what is something you learned in 2019? I learned the compensation plan, but I also learned calligraphy. Very two radically different things. Those are 2 things I really learned this year. What is something you learned this year? It can be physical, it can be mental, relational, it can be anything. It can be deep, profound. It could be voice lessons, singing. I don't know. I need that. in my life. What is something you learned this year? Lauren, to meet people where they're at. Amy, think about that. Self-care is important. Do you know how many people don't think that? Amy, if you were just to talk about that on your social media, that this is what you've learned, wouldn't you think that learning that self-care is important, that if you never made a single dollar from this moment on in your business, it would be worth it? It would be so worth it because that's your form of payment. That's my form of payment. That's amazing. I can handle more than I thought. Think about that. Powerful. Life is a series of lessons. And if you can start to really reflect on those lessons, you'll realize how much knowledge you've gained and grit you've built. That my body can do more than I ever thought I could, right, Laura? Isn't that so wild? I agree with that. Okay, question number 2. What is a tough decision you had to make this year? Last year, I had to split a team page. That was hard, gut-wrenching, and terrible. But it was for the better. That wasn't this year, but that's just an example. What is a tough decision you've had to make this year? To say no to something, step down from something, say goodbye to a friendship. That was tough, Laura. Yep, Morgan, been there. Think about that though, and how much you've grown from that. Big things happened because of that. What is a tough decision you had to make? Beth, yeah. All right, number 3. What is a favorite family memory that you had in 2019? There could be multiple, but what is a really awesome family memory? Mine was when Faye was born, for sure. What is an amazing family memory? I was thinking about Philly too. I was even thinking Thanksgiving just last week. Hosting a reunion. Going to New York for an early anniversary trip. Italy. I love Italy. Oh yeah, Kim. Kim, rooming with me, was that your top favorite memory? Definitely. Holly, going to Magnolia and not thinking it was that cool at first. Then it became cooler. Like the rodeo. That was a good memory. I love that. Okay, question number 4. What is the new friendship that you formed in 2019? A brand new friendship. I think about my friend Corey, who joined our team, and just a remarkable friendship that I have been able to have with her. I'm just loving all the how do you say that word?
Expressions?
No, exclamation point. There we go. Also, where did you find these friends? At church, through the team, social media, a group you went to, work? Isn't that cool to think about? Did you know that there are people that are about to walk through your life in 2020 that are going to radically change your life that you have not met yet? Isn't that cool to think about? That like soon someone's going to walk into your life that you need to know? I always think about that. All right, question number 5. What is a new habit you formed in 2019? A new habit. Could be good or bad. It's your choice because it's a reflection. And you get to decide what you want to do with your future, right? What is the new habit that you formed in 2019? For me, if I think of a friend, they pop up in my head, I text them or call them or message them right away. So if I'm just like talking to, and all of a sudden I say something about a friend that I love, or a family member or whatever, I legitimately just text them real fast and say, hey, I've been thinking about you. How are you? Or you just came on my mind. That is the new habit that I've formed this year. Ooh, podcast daily. This is making me so excited. I love reading your answers. Wake up before my kids and have a devotion time and journal and workout. Erica, that's powerful. That is starting your day off like amazing. So cool. Okay. What did you, or where did you find the most joy in this business this year? In 2019 with coaching the team? Like what like brought you the most joy? For me, for sure, Saturday chat. I don't like, it has just been so like this is really fun for me and I love this, but I've been having so much joy on Saturday chat. Turner, that's so good. I love that, Kim, and celebrating all those coaches. Nicole, your first summit. I remember my first summit. Okay, if I'm seeing summit in the comments and you on this call who's like, what summit? Go find out. Or 2, should I go to summit? I'm thinking yes, if you're seeing these in the comments. That's all I'm saying. Get yourself to summit. You should go to summit. Definitely go to summit. I think too, another thing that's really brought me joy this year is seeing the success of so many coaches. Like that has been so fun. Like I got a text from Morgan Brill. She's going to NLC and I just freaked. Like I just thought about how cool that is. I think about Lauren and Erica and Liz and Morgan who all helped a diamond this year, like gets in their business. That has been so awesome. Seeing Holly and Amanda, it's just been so fun. I love that. Number 7, and you don't have to write this in the comments if you don't want to, but I think it's important to reflect on this. Who is someone that you forgave this year? Maybe to their face, maybe to your heart. I think that forgiveness is so much for us, and it's the ball's in the other person's court, but I really think that forgiveness like heals your heart. I just don't think bitterness and blessing can exist together. I don't think you can be in a state of gratitude when you're feeling bitter towards someone. So who did you actively forgive this year? I think that forgiveness is one of the greatest tools God's ever given us, and not everyone uses it because of pride. But I think forgiveness is honestly like one of those things that just makes you feel free. It is so freeing, Lauren. Kim, like think about that. What a big year 2019 is for that. A best practice that I have with forgiveness for someone that I had to forgive in my life is a family member encouraged me for an entire year to write down something I loved about that person every day. And I did. I have that journal still to this day. And because I did that, it changes everything of how I view that person. That person still makes a lot of the same choices that they do, but that's choices and not necessarily them as in their heart, right? Like they're such a good heart person. And doing that changed how I saw that person 100%. Danielle, it was powerful exercise. I did it. I wrote down one good thing every day. And then when you start to do that, you start to think towards that, right? Like I think Eric and I in our marriage, we just constantly build each other up and we never talk poorly about each other around other people. And I think that's why we have so much respect in our marriage, is because that's what we view it, is just like thinking positively and encouraging thoughts. And then it makes our marriage better. Next question, 8. By the way, Eric and I came up with these. We both did. In what ways did you lead in 2019? I think of Eric and him doing the boards this year. I think of Eric doing Zoom calls this year. How cool was that? Like so flipping cool, right? And he did some live classes. He started his men's thread. That was 2 years ago, I guess. Yeah. But in what ways did you lead this year? I felt like I've given the collab a lot of me. I know there's more for me to give in the collab, and I'm excited for 2020. That's all I'm saying. But I feel like that's how I led. Did you lead by jumping on a call? Like, I think there's ways of leading. You don't always have to be the voice in leadership. You've got to understand that your gifts, leadership isn't necessarily being on video. Does that make sense? How did you lead? Did you celebrate people all the time in your messages? How did you lead? Were you intentional with giving shout outs? I think of Nikki Touch. Doesn't she just blow up Happy and Fit with just like smiles? So much. Do you want to know what my mom said today? She's like, where has so-and-so been? There's been a person in Happy and Fit that has not showed up in a couple months. And she asked me, and I was like, you should reach out to her. You're right. I have not seen her post lately. But how cool is that? My mom even notices people showing up or not showing up in the team page. They say they love you, Call. She goes by Gigi these days. Don't call her grandma. She'll cut you. She'll cut you down. She does not want to be a grandma. That she wants to be a Gigi. In what ways did you lead this year? As you're writing this answer down, maybe you're feeling stumped. This is how you're going to know how to set goals for 2020. You with me? Like if you're like, man, I didn't really forgive that many people. Guess what? 2020. I want to forgive people more frequently, right? That's what this reflection is doing. This reflection is helping you see where you've been and where you're going. I swear it. Okay, next question. What was your favorite program this year? Please don't tell me it was 80-Day Obsession or Morning Meltdown 100. The girl's ready for that to be done. I have 10 workouts to go. Let's get this over with. It's been good. It's been good. The work. I'm starting that next. Yeah. Kaylin, that just reminds me I was pregnant with Faye when I did that. I feel like I have to give it another go. I just love Shanti. Lift. I love Lift. I did Hammer and Chisel this year. That was my favorite program I did this year. That is all these new programs. We have so many old, like, amazing ones that it's like we can't keep up because we're trying to do the new ones. So I was like, I'm doing Hammer and Chisel this year. And I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Emily, I love that there's so many freaking programs, because some of you on here were like, 80-Day Obsession was the greatest program ever created. And I'm like, you're crazy. Like, you're absolutely crazy. There's a lot of Transform 20. So I want you to think about this. Going into 2020, if you love Transform 20, you should probably put that on your board, your dream board in 2020 to accomplish that. Don't you think? Like, if that brought you so much joy, you don't have to keep moving on to all these future things. Like, do the things that bring you joy as well. I love Live 4. I think I did that twice in 2019. What was your, okay, next question, 10, is what was your favorite live event this year and why? And if you have not gone to a live event, this is what you need to know for 2020. I've got to get to a live event. I've got to figure it out. I can promise you this, you will not remember the financial strain it might have taken you to get there, Because once you get there and you go all in, that's what's going to radically transform you. So many of us are held back by these fears. I swear to you. All of Summit. I am so sad I wasn't at Summit to hug a lot of you. I was in the hospital, not with Faye, but with my cyst. Remember that? 38 weeks pregnant. Anyone remember that? And then gave birth 2 weeks later. Amy, can you write that down for 2020? I'm going to get to a live event. That's how you know to dream for 2020. And a lot of you, if you're like, Philly, that was a diamond retreat that we had. 2020, they're saying I've got to get to Philly. And what I'm noticing, more than 2 people said Philly. So that tells me, oh, this isn't limited. This isn't just for the few. This is for whoever wants it. You've got to trust that there's room for you. Find the way or make the way. That's my motto. That's a good question to ask. I'm going to ask that question at the end. I'm seeing Summit here again. That's interesting. Just saying. $11. Who is someone you are really excited to celebrate in 2019? Who is someone that you were so excited to celebrate in 2019? I want you to remember that. That's how you don't make quitting an option in this, is you make it not just about you. You make it about other people. You make it about other people you're in. You can't quit. You can't stop. You've got to be consistent. If you've been reading some of the responses from the book club, that's exactly what some of these coaches are saying, is this is like so much, like someone misses out if I don't show up. Holly, I think that was your answer today. That was a very powerful answer. I want you to think about this, and can you trust if you didn't have someone to celebrate this year, that you can celebrate someone on this team and it's not someone that has to directly sign up with you? That is how I started. I just started celebrating anyone with a pulse that I built a relationship with. I just celebrated Amara on this call, and I did not even give her a shout out for her transformation photo. I just was like, what? I didn't make that post, she did, and I just complimented her on it. And another really cool thing is that Kim texted me about Amara today, which is double cool, saying how excited she was for you. That's pretty awesome. So you're being celebrated behind the scenes, sister. And then what's crazy is that your picture popped up right on my phone, on my newsfeed, because I don't have my newsfeed on my computer. So I was like, I was meant to see that today. Very powerful. When you celebrate people, it makes you more joyful in this business. When people tell me that they've lost joy in the business, they've made it all about them and how they're stuck and how they can't hit their goals and how their team isn't doing anything. But when you start to make it about what people are doing to move mountains and how people have been radically transformed and that you're a better person because of the friendships that you've made, that you're excited because of the live events you've been to, that you just love celebrating people, you start to see this business in a whole new light. And that is why I'm still here. And this is how I do it. This is how I keep the joy, is I'm like, oh my gosh, like these questions. I'm so excited right now. I saw somewhere in a leadership page, someone's like, I've lost all my joy in the business. I was like, yeah, you've made it all about you. Celebrate other people, create more momentum. Next question. What was a really painful moment for you in 2019? What was a really painful, hard thing for you to go through in 2019? Laura. Kinsey, I'm sure that was really hard. Yeah, Jamie, I could see how that could feel so defeating. And I think that's what's cool about this journey, is that it teaches us that once we start focusing on how we feel versus what the number says, everything transforms. because I used to be so about that and like let down because of it. And then I started to realize, wait, I have more energy. I'm more excited. I don't dread this anymore. I like myself more. That speaks louder than any kind of number. Are you liking the person that you're becoming each day with the choices that you're making? I read this somewhere where people who are postpartum who eat a lot of junk food, that's what contributes heavily to postpartum depression. I'm not saying for all, like that, like, right, not for all. And it made sense to me where I was like, whoa, like fuel your body, fuel your brain. And that's where I'm going to lead in health right now, is like, I just want to not be mentally fogged down. I want to feel good with my thoughts. Oh, I just want you all to take a moment and just read through some of this. This is a lot. You all went through a lot in 2019. A lot of things happened, a lot of hardships. Isn't it amazing that you're here and you're a part of something, this thing called life, that ebbs and flows, and that you survived it? Even if you feel like you're going through the thick of it, can you trust that that hard season will pass if it hasn't already? That the hard season you might be walking through or walked through is just taking you to another part of your life that you needed. Like you needed this hardship to get you somewhere else. It's not there to break you. It's there to show you. Show you your strength. Show you how much capacity for love that you have and patience that you have. Anytime I go through a hardship or difficulty, I think about that, of wow, my heart was able to expand more with patience, more with strength, and with more power. Okay, next question. Thanks for revealing your heart to me in that. I just want you to remember life ebbs and flows, and you can still show up in the midst of it. That when life is hard, you have two choices. That it'll suck and you do nothing and go backwards, or that it will suck and that you'll show up for yourself. I always think, which one will help you through it? When I've gone through my hard times, I have got to gut check that with myself. And that's how I learn to show up when it's really hard to mentally. My mom was craving a soda yesterday, and I just said that she has given up for 1.5 years. I said, drink one. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't say that. I said, Mom, are you going to be happy or sad tomorrow if you give in? Think with that person and not this one that's feeling this temptation now. She's like, I would feel sad. And I was like, lead with that then. Let that make your decision not to do it. Like, are you going to be proud of yourself in the future if you do this choice that you decided to do, right? That's how I try to live my life. Okay, Eric came up with this question. He came up with a few of these. Where do you need to focus on PD in your life? Which role? Which role in your life are you needing more PD in? Personal development is what that's called, or professional development. So are you needing help as a mom? Are you needing help with being a better friend or a leader or mentor? Your self role? Are you needing help with that? Where do you need to pour PD into your life right now? Because sometimes we read the trending PD. Does that make sense? I know we're doing a book club, and this book club has been very exciting to me. But sometimes we don't tailor our PD. And I think that as you're looking back into 2019, where do you wish you would have put more PD into? And then let that be a goal for 2020. There's stuff out there, I promise you. There's stuff for moms and being a wife, your faith role. I think it's easy, and I don't know if balance truly exists, but I do know that when we feel out of sync, there's ways to improve it. And sometimes I'm rocking that one thing and I feel like I'm letting a bunch of other things go. Do you ever feel that way? This is what I was taught once. Let the roles in your life, the top 5 or 6 roles, I've talked about this before, let those be a glass ball. So my role with my faith, my role as a wife, my role as a mom, my role as a mentor, like let that be glass. We don't want those to drop because they'll shatter. But let all the other stuff be rubber because they'll just bounce back up one day. Like, can you just trust that? But the glass ones are more important, that you just can't, like, you've got to put focus in there and that you've got to work on those roles. But the volunteering in the kids' classroom, like that stuff is great, but not at the cost of you losing your mind, not at the cost of you not getting self-care in. But can you trust that like someday you'll be able to do that? Just maybe not right now. Trust yourself. Next question. What did you develop this year as far as your skill goes or a gift that you leveraged? What did you develop this year? Did you develop your consistency with your workouts? Is this the most consistent that you've ever been? Did you develop your leadership and mentoring, sharing your ideas? What did you develop this year? Okay, Danielle, how crazy that Slay Like a Mother spoke to you and that was like something randomly on a call on a Saturday chat. That is so awesome that you, first of all, jumped on a Saturday chat so early. 2, we mentioned something like slightly, and then you listened and implemented. A lot of people jump on calls and don't implement. A lot of people just sit and listen, but you implemented, and that's what's powerful. Can we all look at Jill's answer? I developed a backbone to just be me. Do you know how many people outside of this world won't do that, but you could be the voice for them, the trailblazer for them, the confident person for them, that their voice matters. Like you get to see people for who they are because you got to see you for who you are. That's freedom. If I were to go back to that freedom, success, it would be me. That's it. That's amazing. That is so good. Okay, other question. In what ways did you contribute to the team in 2019? In what ways did you contribute to the team? No life is the same. If we were all the same leader, that would be a boring ass team. We're not trying to be like that. We're trying to contribute our gifts and what we offer. Not what I offer. Don't be like me. Be like you. How about that? I like that better. There's something I wrote about this, and I need to find it because it was so flippin' good. Your pace is not the same because your life is not the same. Get inspiration, not intimidation. Your life is not the same as someone else's. And I think that's beautiful. So as you're reflecting on this, this is how you set goals for 2020. This is how you go into 2020 saying, how do I want to contribute? I think celebrating people is an awesome way to contribute. You sharing your PD takeaway is an awesome way to contribute. You jumping on team calls is an awesome way to contribute. You sharing your best practices is an awesome way to contribute. And sometimes this is my most, as any kind of mentor, I'm in some leadership pages or I go to a lot of leadership events. And when people say, I shouldn't be here, I have nothing to contribute, I have nothing to share, I'm just like, are you crazy? The way you say it is going to speak to someone more than anyone else could have said it. Because so much of this business is so freaking simple. It's literally 4 vital behaviors. Get results, get people results, personal development, and walk the walk. That's the same thing. What's the other personal? Wait, what is it? walk the walk, get people results, personal development. What's the other vital behavior? Recognition. There we go. It's fine. It's only 5.5 years, and everyone needs a Kim Meyer in their life because she'll help you with life. Here's the deal. That's this business. That's a very simple business. How many times can you talk about those 4 things? Right? You all have something to contribute because you all said yes. There was something in your heart, something in your mind that said, I need that. I want to smile like her. I want results like her. I want to be a part of a community like her. I don't want to sit on the couch anymore. I want to do this, right? Can you just trust that that's enough for you to contribute? That's enough for you to have a voice in this because of why you said yes to this? I don't care if it was for 25% off. If you're on this freaking call, it's more than a discount to you. It is. It's friendship, it's freedom, it's fitness, right? It's a whole heck of a lot of things. And that you sharing and contributing matters. I don't care how big or small you might think it is. To me, I think it's big. The fact that you would be willing to contribute, whether that's sharing a quote, sharing a recipe, sharing an encouragement, sharing a conversation, sharing how you handled an objection, sharing a social media post that you made, sharing that you completed a workout, sharing a transformation. I don't care. I want you to contribute because you matter on this team. You in? Sweet. Okay, we're going to finish this real fast. What was a motto you had for 2019? What's a motto you had for 2019? I want you to share it. I always say success is not above you. Be 2 feet in. I have a lot of mottos. What you value is how you live your life. Do my best. Trust the process. I can do hard things. Yes, you can, Jamie. Be 1% better than yesterday. Trust me, I'm trying. Oh, Eric says that all the time. I'm trying. Let go and let God. In order to kick ass, you must first, oh no, you guys are going so fast. You must first lift your foot. Brittany, that's funny. I like that one. Philippians 4:13. Just keep swimming. He's got you. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Look at this. Just do it. Oh, I love that. Okay. Before we get off this call, do you see yourself as a CEO? Do you see yourself as a CEO? Going into this month, do you see yourself as a CEO? That's what's going to take you to the next level. When you start doing your 2020 vision and how you're going to crush it, and as you did this reflection, do you see yourself as a CEO? A CEO is someone who decides, makes a decision. It's not about the bank account. It doesn't matter about the weight loss. Doesn't matter how many years you've been in this. Doesn't matter if you've been in and out. Be in now, right? You're still here. Decide. Do you see yourself as a CEO? 5.5 years ago, I decided and I went with it. Do you see yourself as an inspiring leader? Get out of your head. Don't focus on the people who maybe aren't ready to run with you. Focus on where you're going, because that's way more fun than someone who decides to believe some BS stories that they're telling themselves. If you see more for yourself, you keep leading with that person instead of thinking, I'm not a leader because no one's doing anything. Nope, that person's making their own choices. You make yours and you're going somewhere. How about that? That sounds better. Do you believe in your abilities and unique talents? You are unique for a reason. My leadership doesn't have to be your leadership. All right? In fact, I don't want it to be, because I want to learn from you, right? You do you. And lastly, are you your biggest cheerleader? You've got to be. You've got to be the one to get it done. You've got to be the one to show up. You've got to put in the work, and you've got to have a vision. Thank you so much with reflecting with me tonight. Reflection is what's going to help you set goals for 2020. You've got to know where you've been to know where you're going. You did a lot of forgiving, and you can set goals around that. You've done a lot of growing. You can set goals around that. You have amazing, beautiful things and blessings that are happening in your life. I want more of that for you. Now, the hard things that you've been through, that's not your finished story. That's a part of it that just built a whole heck of a lot of grit in you. Trust that. Happy and Fit, I love you